Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in the fall of 2022, the album Dad AF. Rock on gold dust. I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby. Kiss me deadly. Boost. Happy Friday. How are you guys doing? When it's a Friday on a beautiful fall afternoon, you've spent your day going to Krispy Kreme, crumble cookies, and Bath and Body Works to make videos, why not a Shane Dawson makeup video? So today I want to talk about the fact that Shane Dawson has been posting a lot on his Snapchat and on his Instagram story recently. He has been really building up this series, this three-part series that he is getting ready to release. I think now we know that Jeffree Star is going to be part of this series to some degree. In what matter, we have no idea whether it's just that they're hanging out talking or whether they're going to be releasing another product. A lot of people are speculating. There are people out there that are speculating they're going to do another like makeup product. I really don't think that's the case. There are a lot of people out there that are speculating. Can you guys believe that it is only a minute and 45 seconds into this video and I am already into the drama? I don't ever want to hear anything about it again. Anyway, a lot of people are speculating that it's like another makeup release. And you know, I don't think that's it. A lot of other people are speculating that it is skincare, a skincare line, because Shane Dawson's been talking about his skincare routine and things like that. I don't think that's it. He also released a Snapchat post that said something about Daddy's releasing a skincare line, and then he deleted the Snapchat post. And so that's just him trying to stir things up. You know, a lot of other people, like myself, wonder if maybe he's not going to be jerking the jerky. And, you know, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Shane Dawson's jerky. I don't know who wants to eat Shane Dawson's jerky. I know I don't want to eat that jerky. But anyway, so we don't know what it's going to be. I really believe it's just going to be this three-part series of he and Ryland going to visit the ranch, and they're going to hang out at the ranch and see what the ranch is about. Who'd care about some old ranch? I don't care, okay? My aunt and uncle lived in northern Indiana on a farm their entire lives. Anytime I wanted to go see a farm, I could go up there and smell the animals and see the fields and ride on a John Deere tractor, which I loved growing up as a kid. You know, I'd go to the Three Rivers Festival and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to go to Jeffree Star's ranch to see what that life is all about. But anyway, I digress. So that's what I think the whole series is going to be about, all right? But what is interesting is that Shane Dawson has started doing a lot of kind of like beauty-related things on his Snapchat. And I was speculating in videos that I had done where this is probably my fourth or fifth Shane Dawson video in a month where I have talked about I don't really understand why he's being so active on Snapchat and on Instagram. Unless he had been offered, like, a story. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but, like, I think Nikita Dragon at one point, maybe she was one. I'm not really sure. I think Manny and UA. There were other people that were offered, like, stories on Snapchat, or they were, like, series, like, video series. Maybe, I can't remember who else. But they got these series on Snapchat. Do y'all remember those? There's a couple of them over there, right? You probably don't because nobody watched them. But I do know, and I have heard from several YouTubers out there that Snapchat pays very, very well, right? So I was speculating that maybe Shane Dawson or Shane and Ryland had been approached by Snapchat to get a series together, and it would be like the Shane and Ryland show or something like that, where it would be like just like a day in their life kind of, you know, whatever. Like, I don't even know how a series over there works. But then when I started talking about it, I started getting a lot of people contacting me that said that they actually keep up with Shane's Snapchats. And that one of the things that they had noticed recently was that they would watch, like, 2 or 3 of Shane's Snapchats, and then there would be an ad. And then they would watch 2 or 3 more of his Snapchats, and then there would be another ad. And that they were getting a lot more ads than they had gotten before. And in fact, a couple people had like recorded things and sent it to me, and they would have the ads in there. I don't know why, for me, when I go in there, I don't know if it's because I go in and I like screenshot it, I go in and I screenshot it, that maybe it's like so delayed that I don't see a lot of those ads. But I don't see a lot of them, okay? But for a lot of other people, including the video clips that I have been sent, like I will watch a 3-minute Snapchat, series of posts that Shane puts up. And within that 3-minute Snapchat series, there's like 5 ads, right? Which is interesting to me. So then a couple people sent these video clips to me speculating that maybe Shane is now monetizing his Snapchat posts, and that is a way that he is making money now, and that is why he's being so active on Snapchat, is because he's putting all of these Snapchat posts in there. And kind of what he's doing is, let's say if he's putting 20 to 30 Snapchat posts up every day or two on Snapchat, he's taking 2 or 3 of those, just 2 or 3. I mean, it's a very limited amount. And he's putting them on Instagram, okay? And then he'll say in that Instagram one, on his Instagram story, he'll talk about his Snapchat post in a very kind of like side, just throw it in there, right? So to go look at his Snapchat, right? This is the thing that you have to remember with Shane Dawson, is that Shane Dawson has been around Shane Dawson is excellent at playing this idea like, gosh, guys, I just got lucky on YouTube. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've been doing this for so long, and I hate to sell merch. You don't have to buy my merch. Please don't buy my merch. But let me shove my merch down your throat. But I don't know what I'm doing. I just got kind of lucky by doing a bunch of parody videos. That is not the case whatsoever, okay? Shane Dawson knows what he's doing. Shane Dawson is a businessman. A businessman. Shane Dawson is a creative businessman that knows what he is doing, okay? Shane Dawson is somebody that kind of like created the idea of doing collaborations to cross-pollinate audiences on YouTube. If you go back and you look at his videos from the past, not just his problematic videos, but other ones, the ones where, for example, he was doing the ones with Gabby Hanna. Like, he and Gabby Hanna did not share similar audiences. So then you put him in a video where they're making some kind of food, like funny Taco Bell pancakes, and he gets a lot of, it's very much like the Frenemies kind of podcast idea, that Trisha gets Ethan's kind of fans, and then, Ethan gets some of Trisha's fans, and it's like that mentality that a lot of people built their YouTube careers off of. There's nothing wrong with it. But Shane had been doing it for a very long time, okay? Shane would look at people that were kind of up on the rise, and then he would contact them. I mean, it's kind of why Shane got interested in drama channels to begin with, way back in the day, and why he started contacting all of us. Because he was like, what's this? There's a lot behind that story, but all of us got contacted at the same time. Shane knew exactly how many views we were getting on our videos a month. Shane, asked us, are you monetizing your videos? I mean, Shane knew what the score was, right? This isn't just me throwing out there, oh, Shane knows what he's doing. Shane does know what he's doing, right? So when I'm watching something and I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, there is always a motive behind what Shane Dawson does. What the trick is for Shane Dawson is making the motive, okay, and the business idea model not look like it's divisive. He has to make it look like it just was this, shucks, guys, how did I happen across this? That's the whole pull and the draw of Shane Dawson, right? Is that he's just this relatable guy next door that got lucky on YouTube. That's what he wants you to believe. Not that there's this machine behind the whole thing that very thoroughly thinks out who he's going to work with, what videos he's going to do, looking at his numbers, whatever. Hell, I remember talking to Trisha Paytas way back in the day when they were still friends, and Trisha would say, Shane Dawson can tell you how many subscribers and how many video views each person that is his top competitor gets at any given time. He knows that. He watches that stuff very closely. And then when I saw, I think it was in the videos that he was doing with Bobby, he showed the Social Blade on the TV in his living room. I was like, this is so interesting to me. Like, Shane really does watch the numbers of this. And then I would watch videos where Morgan and Rylan would talk about analytics, and they would talk about Social Blade, and they would talk about how do you beat these analytics. And I'm like, these are conversations that they are having, you know? And then I sat with Shane myself and had similar conversations with him. So I was like, he really is in tune with this stuff, and he does get it. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Recently, in reading articles about, like, you know, Mr. Beast, and seeing that Mr. Beast has really, you know, researched YouTube and how to make videos go viral and how to beat the algorithm, supposed algorithm, and all this kind of stuff, you know, it's just smart. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but I think when you come across as trying to be, you know, this like shucks guy, blah, 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 whatever, instead of just putting out a video, and part of the whole mystere to the video is this whole kind of disingenuous character to it, that's when, to me, it's just like, just throw out the video. Like, you don't have to play this game with us. You don't have to play like you don't like to sell merch or whatever. I don't know. I would really appreciate it more if Shane got in a video, and he has done this a little bit more with merch, but if he said, you know, I'm really super excited about this merch. Like the last merch drop, he was like, I'm excited about this merch. And I was like, okay, he's owning it. Like, this is cool. This is exciting, right? So with the merch and things like that, because the whole like, oh, you don't have to buy my merch. No, we know that we don't have to buy your merch and your silly slimes. We know that, okay? It's embarrassing to watch. So, you know, he's kind of like hopefully coming out of all that. Well, I've been watching his Snapchats recently, and in his Snapchats, he's been starting to do a lot of makeup and beauty stuff. And I'm like, I'm very confused about this, okay? Very. So, for example, I don't think it was a video. I think it was just pictures that he posted. While I'm talking about this, I will just put up some of the pictures that he posted in the last, like, 24 hours. So, he posted this picture of this area where he had, like, all of his makeup, and he was like, he has to clean it up. It looked like his makeup desk, but really what it looked like to me was a box or like a makeup, like kits and caboodles that he had just like thrown onto the table. Like there was no rhyme or reason to it. It's literally almost all Jeffree Star makeup. Like at this point, all he owns is Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which is fine, right? But he was sent all that PR, and he likes to play with makeup, supposedly back in the day, right? So he then had to clean it up. So he then cleans up, and he shows the little makeup area and all this kind of stuff. Then he does this kind of parody on Snapchat. This is where I think that Shane Dawson is going to have to be very, very careful with the edit button. First of all, before I get into this, I want to say, I didn't find that there was anything wrong with what he did, but I think that his sense of humor of what he thinks is funny to other people today, not 10 years ago, not 15 years ago, today, what he thinks is funny may not be funny to somebody else. So he does this whole kind of parody. He's taking all these pictures. I'm throwing them up here probably somewhere. And in the pictures, it's kind of this parody of this person that is like doing their makeup and like waiting for this guy to call them. And is he gonna call? I don't know. Like, I'm getting ready, but like, oh my God, I'm like waiting for this phone call from him and whatever. Like, but it's all these looks like, it's like all these things that Shane does that for me are like, okay, maybe would be kind of funny. Like, you're like past the age of like Saturday Night Live and your humor's not that good. Like maybe like a 12-year-old this would be funny from, but I don't think like a 30-plus-year-old, like it's not humorous to me. And so he's doing this stuff, and then it's like this person that's like waiting for this guy to like call, and then like he does, and then but he doesn't, and then do I want him, and then I don't know, and you know, like something like we've all gone through before, like waiting for the guy to call and like getting all ready and trying to look hot, and then when he does call, like, but I'm like, okay, yet again, this is where you make jokes about things that, like, I mean, even though it's like a parody of a real life situation, I don't know that he knows the difference between taking like a real life situation that has happened and like making a parody of it and like going so far as to say things that are insensitive or inappropriate and turning it off. Like, I don't think that he knows how to do that. I really don't, because I don't think that he thinks there's anything wrong with his humor, which says to me that he's just going to get in further trouble for his humor yet again. But as he's doing all these videos, okay, he just did his skincare routine. He just did his beauty routine, right? Where he cleans up his things and he's making, wants to play with, he's now loving to play with makeup again. For 2 years, you didn't love to play with makeup, okay? I don't know. For me, it's just like, did you cash those conspiracy palette checks and then you bought the house in Colorado and you just were done playing with makeup? I mean, did you just get bored of it? Was it so tiring for you to sign the check for the conspiracy palette that you couldn't lift that same hand up to put eyeliner on your eye to play with makeup anymore? Did you lose your interest in playing with makeup as soon as that conspiracy palette was done selling out? That's, to me, what I don't understand, right? Okay? So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, well, what's changed, People always come over here and they say to me, what do you want from Shane? Well, my question is, what's changed? So I went back over and I looked up because I wanted to see what his statement was from 2 years ago. So he made a statement, hold on a second. When the whole drama thing happened with Shane Dawson, this was 2018's Dramageddon. And hold on a second. He made a statement, and here is the statement. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Okay. Welcome to the circus. My final thoughts on the beauty community. A few questions that I have been getting lately. Did I know that she was thinking about making a video? This is Tati Westbrook. Yes. Did I tell her to make a video? No. Did you discourage her to? No, you didn't discourage her to either, did you? Okay. Did I have any involvement in the video? No. Did I orchestrate it? No. Were you in any part of it? You didn't say that. Did I need that kind of drama to make a good series? No, he says. I don't agree with that. Have I ever tried to ruin a career or make someone look bad in my 15 years on YouTube? He says no. I think there's a lot of people that would disagree that Shane Dawson hasn't tried to make people look bad on YouTube. I'm just asking you guys, in retrospect of him making this comment. Do I have a track record of people getting into drama with YouTube or having fights with other YouTubers? He says no. I would disagree with that statement as of today. Am I innocent and don't have huge anxiety-provoking regrets about how I would have handle everything better? No, I've had a pit in my stomach since it all happened. Now, on to my final thoughts on the beauty world and my experience in it. And this is long, you guys. The Conspiracy Palette was one of the best experiences of my life. The series with Jeffrey changed my life and changed me as a person. Okay, the beauty gurus who are always involved in scandals are all the effing same. Okay? They are all attention-seeking, game-playing, egocentric, narcissistic, vengeful, two-faced, ticking time bombs ready to explode, and I'm over it. And you know who is at the center core of the majority of that? Always, to this day, let's talk about it. Manny and Laura, where are they? Okay, Nikita Dragic, she moved to New York. She's minding her business. Gabriel Zamora, no, Tati, no, he's off there. Tati Westbrook, she moved. Okay, who's the only person in all of that? Jeffree Star, your best friend. Your best friend is still the attention-seeking, egocentric person at the center of all of it. So your observations about the beauty community are really your observations about your best friend, that yet you're putting in your very next series that 3 years ago you were over in the beauty community and you've learned everything, right? And you're a changed person. And then people come here and they want to know what I want to know. This is what I want to know. What's changed? Okay, so let's go on. Yes, they are talented, creative, smart, and love makeup, but they also joined a side of the internet that is obsessed with looks, money, power, fame, screenshots, and subtweets, as is he. Releasing private texts, voice memos, emails, and other receipts is a way to point yourself in a particular light or someone else in a bad light. It's weird to me, and I will never engage in that. That is a game that they know how to play well, and I would rather eat my own hands off than play it. And wasn't it just Jeffree Star in Keemstar's Basement podcast last year that took people aside and said, I will play for you the DMs if you want me to. I will... where people are accusing James Charles of certain things, and he supposedly, or play the voice text or whatever. And wasn't it just Jeffree Star this year, just a couple months ago, that went on Logan Paul's podcast and actually showed DMs between professional athletes and professional people engaging in, wasn't that Jeffree Star that was showing all of that? So the same people that you're talking about is the best friend that you're yet engaging in another series with. Okay, so maybe not a great choice. Yes, Jeffrey is in that list of dramatic gurus and would admit to that. And he will always be family to me, and I love him despite those characteristics. He's very aware of the fact that I don't agree with many of the ways he approaches situations, and I have been very honest with him about needing to make some changes. But as for being in the beauty world, I can't take the drama anymore, and it's not how I am wired, so I'm out. But 3 years later, even though Jeffree Star hasn't made any changes, he still is doing those same things that you've talked about in this very post. You're not out. You're gonna go do another video series with him. Okay. Okay. It's draining, exhausting, depressing, and sometimes amazing. But for me, the amazing is outweighed by the bad. And he goes in to talk about all this kind of stuff. He's never been involved in drama. So did I plan Dramageddon? Are you serious? No. Do people in the YouTube world come to me like a grandpa and tell me their problems and ask for advice? Yes. He can't fix nobody's problems. Okay. So as he goes on to talk about this video with Tati. Talks about James Charles. Hold on a second. He goes in here and talks about, do I think Jeffrey orchestrated this whole situation? No. Tati is a strong woman who made a choice. Do I think Jeffrey was also upset by some issues with James and some things he heard behind the scenes? Yes. This is all getting into the speculation of all of it. I want to put this at the very end. Hold on. Where's the very end of it? Okay, so he says, I love the way, but let's not pretend that the beauty world isn't negativity first, makeup second. It's just how it is, and I'm sick of people pretending to be so above it all. And with that said, I love watching beauty channels of all sizes and will continue to watch and support them. The dramatic ones, the non-dramatic ones, and the ones who genuinely just love to show their makeup skills. Sadly, those channels get way less views for the reasons I have stated above. Well, you know, Shane, then maybe the video series that you should have made in retrospect was that you should have done something with, I don't know, say somebody like Raw Beauty Christie. You know, and maybe you should have done a series with her on how she built her channel up from the bottom up, because she's not really that problematic, you know. But instead you chose to align with somebody that's incredibly problematic, and you still do choose to align with that person today, right? And to consider him one of your very best friends, even though he really hasn't made that many changes in the last 3 years. So, you know, or maybe what you could have done, since everybody comes to you like a grandpa, or at least you saw this that way 3 years ago, is that you could have told the truth. You could have shown the truth behind that, you know, is that instead of doing this episode where you sainted Jeffree Star and tried to show him like a human being, okay, you could have allowed everybody to see the truth behind the veil of what Jeffree Star is for those of us that really actually know the truth. And you do know the truth, okay? So don't act for 1 second like you don't. You could have actually done some good and said, hey, Jeffrey, I care enough about you that I want to help you. So we're going to really talk about, because he says in here, Shane, you talk about the negativity of the beauty world first, you know, then show the negativity of the beauty world. That's not what you showed. You showed how much money you and Jeffree Star could make. You showed about how you could put out a product. You talked about what an amazing world that Jeffree Star lives in. You talked about how he rose from nothing and became... You didn't show anything about the negativity of the beauty world. If that's really what you believed, and that's really what you felt, that's really what you should have showed. Especially if you're this fantastic documentarian that everybody believed that you were. That's really the truth that you should have shown. You should have shown your truth. You know? But anyway, so he goes on here and he says, so go enjoy the gurus, enjoy the circus. Unsubscribe from me if you are mad that I'm no longer engaging in it. Unsubscribe to gurus who you don't like. Subscribe to gurus you do like. Just don't take the beauty world as seriously as I did, or as so many of us did in 2019. It's not worth it, and I feel like we all lost a bit of our soul during Dramageddon. As for my channels, I'm done with the beauty world. Are you? I guess we'll see. But... You made a lot of money off the beauty world. I mean, you really did. For being so bitter and angry about the beauty community and the beauty world. You know, talking about this podcast with Logan Paul that Jeffree Star just did. Jeffree Star said that everybody out there was bitter, you know, that all the other beauty influencers were bitter because Shane and Jeffree were doing something that had never been done before. And that is in 2022 that Jeffree Star has that attitude, that everybody out there in the beauty influencer world on YouTube is jealous of Shane and Jeffree to this day for what they did with the conspiracy palette. That's Jeffree Star's attitude today, right, Shane? And you consider this person your best friend, and yet you're putting him in another series. communities. So my question would be why? I don't really understand it. You know, like if you still continue to align yourself with this person and you don't really want anything to do with the makeup community, why are you putting it on your Snapchats? Why did you start the Shane Glosson channel? Why are you putting it in your Instagram stories? Or are you just getting ready to use and manipulate the beauty community space again? Because quite frankly, it's been a healing time since you have been gone from the beauty community space, and you did a lot of damage. You really did a lot of damage to the beauty community space. And there's a lot of, you know, people out there that work very, very hard every single day that have 500, 100, 1,000, 10,000 subscribers, you know, that work very, very hard on trying to build their channels for their love of makeup, you know, and they invest a lot of their own money in makeup. They don't get sent PR like you did because you put out this series, you know, and so I don't know. I think before you enter this world again that you call the circus, that you want to know part in, what are you doing with all of these looks and all this? And I think it's a fair question for anybody to ask. I mean, I look at it and I go, what is he doing? Why is he poking the bear of all of this again when you exited and said, I'm out, I'm done? You know? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.